Good evening, YouTubers. The new Time Travel Jaime 88. I'm back with another Doctor Who DVD review. And yes, we're still celebrating Doctor Who's 50th anniversary. So tonight, we're still celebrating Doctor Who and the Monster Collection. This time, we're going to look at the Cybermen. So let's get started with this review. The first up, the Cybermen haunts the first Doctor in his final four-part story, Doctor Who, the 10th Planet. Yes, I love this episode, the 10th Planet. It is fantastic to watch, and it's the first appearances of the Cybermen too. And I just watched episode 4 sneak peek. The animation is brilliant, fantastic. Big thanks to Planet 55 Studios for reconstructing and animating of the fourth and final William Hartnell story. Sadly to see the first Doctor go. But the Cyberman continues to haunt the second Doctor in the four-part story, Doctor Who, the Moon Base. Yes, this is a brilliant four-part story. I love this episode. And episode 1 and 3 on audio and the Lost in Time, but the second and fourth episode are fantastic. However, the Cyberman haunts the second Doctor once more in this four-part adventure, Doctor Who, the Tomb of the Cybermen Special Edition. Yes, I tell ya, the four-part story, it is fantastic. I love this episode. And Tessa Coyles recommend this Cyberman story. This is one of the best Cybermen story ever. Good directing and good script writing too. The second Doctor is not done yet with the Cybermen in a 6-part adventure, Doctor Who, The Wheels in Space. Fantastic 6-part story. Good director from Tristan van der Kool and a great story writer from David Whittaker. Brilliant story and the first ever appearances of Wendy Padbury as Zoe. However, the Cybermen evaded London in an 8-part adventure, Doctor Who, The Invasion. Yes, this is another good Cybermen story. I love this episode. And the animation of the first and fourth episode are truly fantastic to watch. And the return of Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart. However, the third Doctor never encountered the Cybermen in the classic series. However, the fourth Doctor battled the Cybermen in the 1975 adventure, Revenge of the Cybermen. Awesome 4-part story with Tom Baker. It's one of my favorite all-time stories. I love it. Has great story writing from Jerry Davis and Michael E. Brent did a wonderful job directing this fantastic story. However, the Cybermen continues the 5th incarnation of the 5th Doctor in this 1982 4-part venture, Earthshock. Yes, Earthshock is a fantastic story. It's a classic and was the last appearances of Matthew Waterhouse of Adric. It's a very sad ending of episode 4 when he sacrificed himself and blew up the Cybermen and himself too. This is one of my favorite Peter Davison stories ever. But the Cyberman returns once more in the multi-Doctor story, The 5 Doctors, 25th Anniversary Edition. Yes, the Cybermen did encounter with the Doctor once more with the help of the Master, but the Cybermen double-crossed by the Master. Brilliant adventure story. But the Cybermen continues in this Colin Baker 4-part adventure. Two-part story. I meant Attack of the Cybermen. Yes, this is one of the best Colin Baker story ever, and also marks the return of Commander Lydon. Now he works as a Cyberman agent, but he just got just deserved at the end of this story. Awesome episode. However, the Cyberman returns in the 25th anniversary story of Silver Nemesis. Yes, Silver Nemesis is a great 3-part story, and yes, and it has a great director from Chris Cloud and good story writing from Kevin Clark. Yes, it's the 7th Doctor battles the Cybermen. Yeah, the Cybermen. Awesome story. However, the 9th Doctor, unfortunately, the 8th and the 9th Doctor never countered the Cybermen, but David Tennant did in this classic adventure, Age of the Steel. Yes, Age of the Steel is one of the tremendous episodes. I love this episode. It has a great story writing and good directing from Grant Harper, the same guy who directed Peter Davison's final story, The Caves of Anjazani. However, the 10th Doctor is not done yet defeating the Cybermen. In the conclusion of Rise of the Cybermen, brilliant adventure, and has a good directing and great story writing. I love this episode. It is very underrated. But the Cybermen return with the help of the M&E foe, the Dialect, in the adventure Army of Ghosts and Doomsday. The Army of Ghosts is one of the brilliant, fantastic stories. I love this episode. And Doomsday, it's a great ending for Series 2, and sadly for Billy Piper's departure. But the Cyberman is not done yet. He encountered in a spin-off series in Torchwood, Cyberwoman. I haven't seen this episode, but this is, when I saw bits and pieces on the Sci-Fi Channel, it is fantastic. It's very scary too. It's great script editor from Brent Munchin and great director from James Strong. Wonderful episode. The Cybermen continues in this David Tennant Christmas special, The Next Doctor. Yes, The Next Doctor is a very fantastic story. I love this episode. It is fantastic. And David Morrison did a wonderful job playing the fake Doctor Jackson Lake. Very touching story. However, Matt Smith encounters the Cybermen in this story. The Pandoric opens. Fantastic episode. It's one of my favorite all-time Matt Smith episode. I love this episode when he encounters source not only the Cybermen, the Dalek, and the Centaurian. But the 11th Doctor got rid of the Cybermen? I don't think so. The Cybermen returns. In this adventure, A good man goes to war. Oh, yes. This is a fantastic episode. And that's when, with the help of the Cybermen and with the eye patch lady. Awesome episode. It's very underrated. However, the Cyberman haunts again with the 11th Doctor and the adventure Closing Time. Yes, Closing Time is a very awesome adventure, and also got some very funny stuff too. And when he decided he bumped again with the Craig Owens, the last time we saw him, they think there has no upstairs, and the woman, his wife, had the baby at the time. Very awesome story. But, however, the Cybermen appears again in this Series 7 adventure in, I give you this episode, Nightmare in Silver. Yes, Nightmare in Silver. It is a awesome story, and I've seen bits and pieces of it. Heck, this story, it is fantastic to watch too. I love this episode. Okay, so that will conclude the Doctor Who The Cyberman collection. Shout out goes to Douglas E. Wolf. Make sure to comment down below, and see you next time. Take care for now.